Hello guys, in this video I would like to invite you to take a sneak peek at the course I'm building right now. If you haven't seen my videos before, my name is Frank Liu. I'm creating video tutorials on my YouTube channel. Recently I've been covering ASP.NET Core, Blazor, Web API, and in the future I'm going to cover a lot of different topics within software development. I'm creating a complete Web API course in .NET 5, but I actually gonna create in the course, I'm gonna use ASP.NET Core 3.1. We're gonna start with that version, and then later I'm gonna do the upgrade, right? And then I'm gonna show you the features included in .NET 5 in terms of Web API, right? So let's go through the table of content. I'm still building the course, not done yet. I just want you guys to take a look at the course content and take a sneak peek into what I already have. So in the first section, we're going to talk about what and why, right? What is Web API? Why do we need Web API? Right? We're going to talk about the two different purposes, right? Sharing data and sharing functionalities, right? And then, so this is basically a high-level architectural talk, which is actually, in my opinion, very, very necessary. And then we're going to cover, what makes a Web API RESTful. Okay? And then the next section, we are going to actually laying the foundation by designing a Web API framework from scratch. And we're gonna design it, right? We're gonna talk about the requirements. We're gonna talk about the architectural design of the framework, right? And we're gonna implement it. Well, not actually implementing it, but borrowing Node.js. Well, we're going to use Node.js, and we're going to demo the process of implementing a simplified version of a Web API framework so that you know what needs to be involved in building a Web API framework, right? It's a framework that helps developers to create Web APIs, right? This is definitely going to lay a very good foundation for you to work with Web API. Although you're not going to create the framework yourself, but if we talk about this, we go through this, you know exactly what is involved in a Web API, right? And then we're going to test the framework with PowerShell, right? Then we're going to talk about the missing parts within that simple framework. And then we're going to move on to REST API design. Okay, you see I have exercise, I have suggested answers, and most of the sections either have quiz or practice and suggested answer videos, or both. And then after the design, we're going to introduce you to the ASP.NET Core platform, because that's what we are going to use to create our Web API endpoints, right? So this section is all about ASP.NET Core basics, right? And then we're going to talk about different features in Web API, right? We're going to talk about routing in this section. We're going to talk about binding, and as you can see, I have practice and suggested answers, right? After model binding, I have model validation, and then we're going to talk about filter pipeline, which is slightly advanced stuff. In a lot of projects, you don't even need filter pipelines, but it's actually very good to know, and a lot of places you actually find it's very, very useful, right? And then we're gonna go ahead and create the endpoints, right? And I always talk about architectures and designs so that we can use architecture and design to guide us to create better structure, right? Since we're creating, we need better structure. And then we also have practice and suggested answers. And next section is advanced topics of Web API. We're going to talk about asynchronous endpoints, right? Why we need it, and then we're going to implement it. And then the next few videos is about versioning. And then we're going to talk about DTO, Automapper. And next we're going to upgrade our Web API from .NET 3.1, right, to .NET 5. And then we're going to cover one of the main changes in .NET 5, right? So in terms of Web API, the main thing is about built-in open API support, right? So that means documentation for Web API. Not only documentation, but it's actually have a UI, and when you run the Web API, you can actually see the UI, right? So I'm going to cover that here, and then I'm going to talk about data filtering. The next section is about consuming the Web API, right? We're going to start consuming the Web API, and the first thing is we're going to build the repository, right? And then we're going to have a little bit architectural talk, just like always. Always starts with a little bit architectural and design talk. And then we are going to create the repository one by one, right? And I'm going to talk about handling errors, and we have practice and suggested answers as well. And next, this section I'm still building, right? We're going to actually create the Blazor WebAssembly application to consume the Web API. And again, we have architectural talk like always, right? And we're going to talk about where are we going to start, and we're going to start building the logic and consuming the Web API, right? So after this, so this is actually gonna be a pretty big section. It's going to be, so this is number 4, right? You can see that I'm actually recording. Yeah, so I'm still recording, so you can't see what I'm building, but I've recorded a lot of them already. So this is going to be a very big section. That a whole section contains everything that we are going to consume the Web API, right? We're going to use it to consume the Web API. After that, we are going to cover a very important topic, which is going to be security, right? And we're going to have security for the front end, security for the back end. We're going to talk about different ways to do it. I'll see whether I have the time to cover OAuth. It's going to be a huge topic. I actually, at this moment, I don't think I'm going to cover too much about the OAuth, but I'm going to cover different ways to implement securities. And then after that, we are going to use SQL Server. So what in this, like all these sections so far, I used in-memory entity framework, right? So we actually have entity framework. Probably I didn't mention that, but what we are using the entity framework, and entity framework has a in-memory. Let's actually take a look at this, right? So we have entity framework here, right? And if we go to our web API startup.cs, you can see that I'm actually using, when I add the DB context, I'm using in-memory database, right, as development. So later, I'm going to have a different environment. So basically logic is, if it's a development, we're going to use the in-memory database so that we can do our testing, right? And if it's not development environment, then we're going to use SQL Server, right? So that section, we are going to use SQL Server in the environment, right? In other environment. And after that, I'll see whether I need to add more sections. But this is what I have so far, and this is already more than 9 hours, maybe already close to 10 hours, or maybe even more than 10 hours of content. I just want to let you guys know ahead of time that I'm getting very closer for finishing this complete Web API course in .NET 5, right? So you're gonna learn about the concept, you're gonna learn about how to create it, you're gonna learn about how to consume it with Blazor WebAssembly. It's hot right now, right? Blazor is very hot now in terms inside ASP.NET Core application frameworks. I hope you guys are feeling excited about this. I'm feeling very excited about this course. This covers a lot of topics, and I actually spend a lot of time trying to impart my knowledge to my future students. Let me know what you think about the content in this course in the comments area down below. And if you like to see something let me know so I'll see whether I can cover it in my course. And as always, if you enjoy my video tutorials in my channel, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe so that you will not miss the next videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.